Hello, you're listening to Tech Edition Podcast Episode 120, Stalk Me. Hello everyone out in Tech Edition land, this is James. This is episode 120 on March 20th, 2012.
Hi, this is Carl.
What's up, everyone? This is Clarence, back again for another round.
You know, the only thing that would make this cooler if this was episode 320 on March 20th.
It's gonna take a while to get that high.
Yeah, 120 is close enough, I guess.
Yep. All right, well, everybody out there, we're kind of slow on news this week, but we got some pretty good news. Carl's going to get us started off.
Oh yeah, everyone's favorite director, Michael Bay, has gotten his hands on another beloved childhood property, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's right, TMNT. He's probably going to change that acronym because he wants to redo the origin for his movie. The Turtles will now be aliens, not turtles in the sewer with mutagen. They're probably still going to be in the sewer, but why would aliens live in the sewer? Interesting. What you guys think about that?
How are aliens going to be ninjas?
Well, maybe the origin of the mutagen is alien rather.
Or maybe the origin of ninjutsu is from outer space.
No.
But I don't think they'll go that far.
Maybe they're pulling the whole Spider-Man symbiote thing. I don't know.
The funny thing though is, look at Shredder, because Shredder was pretty much a ninja robot with an alien in his belly, or the Ultron thingy. So
wasn't it Krang?
Well, Krang was
one
for
of
for the children's specials.
Yeah, one of the latest, one of the last Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle series had the Shredder like that. But I thought he was human at first because he had a daughter.
Yes, he had a daughter in this one too. She was adopted in this one. I don't know if that was a separate universe too, but yeah, I think he was human because I think, like Sergio said in the previous comic, Leonardo killed Shredder in like the first few episodes, so I'd assumed he was human. But then they, combined Krang and Shredder in, I think the newer comics as well as the newer TV series. But I'm curious, is it going to be CG, or is it going to be puppeteering, or is it going to be like Transformers? CG turtles in the real world. I hadn't really researched it that much.
That would be interesting. I could actually see them doing the CG turtles. It would actually look kind of cool, but who knows? They might be going for the more classic look that we all know. I don't know about love, but we all know.
Will the turtles have pupils? Eyeballs.
I got to admit, though, I love the practical effects for the live-action turtle movies that we got. I mean,
it's good for its time.
The second and third one, the first one was awesome. I mean, I still can sit and watch that one. The second and third one,
I can still watch the second one. I can't watch the third one. But I don't know what happened in the third one. Didn't they get freckles and stuff all over their turtle costumes too? And it was like,
I mean, I think CG would be a good move. Just think if we would have had Avatar with puppets rather than CG blue people, that would have been weird.
It'd have been like there's been that love scene between Kermit and Miss Piggy everyone's been waiting on.
Oh. On to other news. So we talked a few weeks ago about the Expendables 2 having a PG-13 rating due to Chuck Norris being in the film. That was one of his restrictions on being in the film, is that it couldn't be rated R. Well, guess what? Stallone has backtracked and said the movie will be rated R rather than PG-13. And from what I've read from this article, which is on Slash Film, it's basically saying that Chuck Norris's stipulation was more so along the lines of cursing and language rather than violence. So since the R rating is going to be more geared for the violence portion, I think he's okay with it. But yeah, we're going to get the Expendables 2 we all expected,
which is kind of funny.
Well, see, on that one with the ratings, on that really it's like how graphic someone gets shot or exactly how many people get killed. Like a lot of people have gotten or just kept from getting an R rating by having one less person die on the film. No, I'm serious. It's weird how they do this. Like they have a category. If so many people die, you must be rated R.
But then also it's according to like if their death is kind of like shown. Like you can slaughter people, curse up a storm, as long as there's no. A lot of times, as long as there's no nudity or graphic sex scene, you can usually get away with a lot of stuff in a PG-13 movie.
Well, you remember when we was younger, PG-13. There was a lot of cussing and stuff like that. Like, if you get an R rating, you had to have some straight up sex going on.
Yeah, they had to be like it had to be butt cheeks of the man and the woman shown. You know, like you can get a G rating with man butt cheeks, which is kind of mean. It's not fair. The world doesn't want to see men booties. Well, I'm the world.
The men of the world.
See men booties.
Yeah, the straight men of the world don't want to see man booty. It's like no.
Yeah, man, they real crazy. That jump. Maybe watching the show on TV, be like, no, regular TV. This is a broadcast. No,
yeah, this is cable. How are they getting away with that? And that's another thing that reminds me too. So is after 10 o'clock now? All things go. Well, I mean, not adult sexual content, but language. Like after 10, like it looks like every channel now can show a movie that says every 4-letter word.
What it depends on what channel it is. Also, I know AMC they pretty much say anything on Walking Dead. Before that we had like the Chappelle Show saying it pretty much anything. So
yeah, South Park now uncuts their episodes after 10. I've even seen FX uncut a movie after 10.
Oh yeah, so it depends on the channel, and I mean they're not going to do it for the top tier channels, but definitely the fringe channels like AMC, Comedy Central, and channels like that.
And AMC notoriously, I think, never cut their stuff anyway. Because wasn't they able to get away with that this was art or this was,
American movie classics. So they would show everything from like the 60s and 70s uncut.
Yeah, like I remember watching Predator on it. Like they showed all the gratuitous gore. I was like, hey.
Well, but that's the thing, though. AMC used to be one of the premium channels. It's not quite as premium anymore. So, like, if it started off as a premium channel but then got downgraded, generally its content did not get downgraded. But now they would change up their content to be more PG or G friendly within certain times, but after that, it's like, no, we're going back to what we normally show.
It's kind of funny. Like I heard on another show, I heard one of the guys from The Walking Dead. I guess he one of the producers talking about how gratuitous they make things, and he said, the heads of the company haven't told us to stop yet, so we're going to keep going until they tell us.
Go keep pushing the envelope to okay, guys, you went a little too far. Let's scale it back down.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a zombie movie, so a zombie show, so gore should be in there. Period.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've had any sex or not because I haven't caught back up after season.
Oh yeah,
one.
they've had plenty of sex.
Zombie sex.
Oh, I don't know about zombie sex. I haven't seen it.
No.
Yeah, I don't think it's was a Dead Island with zombies in bikinis.
Yeah, zombies in bikinis.
So, Carl, you got some 3DS DLC news.
Yeah, this was surprising. GameStop sent me an email. This is just the basic email, no insider stuff. Advertising saying, "Hey, buy 3DS download content from us and full game downloads." When I saw that title, I was like, "Full game download?" I was like, "Can I download Resident Evil?" That's the first thing that came to mind when they said full game download. But it's actually eShop games. So far, they only have 2 available at the moment. It's Mario Land 2. I think that's the one where he had the rabbit ears on the Game Boy. And that Pushmo title. I'm actually very interested in that Pushmo game. It's like $7 though. But the interesting thing is I haven't been able to find confirmation on this. But I think you can go in the store, buy it, and download it in the store. As opposed to
Using up your bandwidth at home?
Yeah, I guess instead of using bandwidth at home, where people have 3DSs and still don't have Wi-Fi, or don't trust going to like a McDonald's Wi-Fi, might get their account hacked, though you don't really transfer any secure. Well, maybe that's the reason why no one wants to create a Nintendo account, and so you can go on GameStop and buy it. I don't know if they're giving you a download code, or if you're handing them your 3DS and then they link you online and download it, or if Nintendo's actually giving them some sort of system that allows them to push the game to your 3DS as if you were getting it from the eShop. I know on the website, if you go to the site, the image for the item actually says in-store item only, see cashier. So it's not, you can't buy it on. So it's definitely not a download.
Wow,
code
that's weird.
It's hard to see because I had to stare closely at the image. I was like, this is the best box art they can get. And then it said promotional. This said display item only. See cashier or something like that. What it said written on the image. So I guess there is no download code, but you can add the cart online. That might be pick up in store. Who knows? But that was interesting to see. So I assume this is what I think I remember hearing companies saying they were going to do this because Sony supposedly is going to dual release all their titles, physical and download only. And many people were wondering, mostly the retailers themselves, were they getting cut out of sales on games? So I guess this is how they're going to do it. However, the prices aren't increased any. So I don't know, even though I think game retail's on to make cents on a sale per se. Like if they sell it for $49, they probably bought it for $48 or $49.50 or something like that. So I guess they're still getting their little cut. The companies are still sending customers into the store, so it's not they're not eliminating them all together because they've been very worried about this used games market, pretty much being policed.
Well, as far as full digital, if you were going to do it, that's the way to do it because then you don't have it to where anybody can trade out. You can't trade out a digital copy. The only thing you have to worry about is everybody being able to hack their systems and share. So,
Nintendo uses SD memory. I don't know what kind of encryption or how the file structure is yet. I haven't actually popped my SD card out yet and inspected it. But it just writes everything to the most universal media there is.
Yeah. Well, I gotta admit though, speaking of DLC, there's some weird shenanigans going on with Capcom again. It's been pretty bad. So for all of you who may not have known, Street Fighter X Tekken came out 2 weeks ago. Well, actually last week. It came out last week. Well, some hackers that got hold of the game early on the 360 hacked it, and they found all the characters that are exclusive to the Vita already on the disc. But that's not all. All the characters, all the color packs, all the gem packs, and all of the costume packs that are supposed to be DLC are already on the disc. And it's caused a pretty big uproar. Capcom has lost, I think, I haven't been able to refine the article that showed the numbers, but about 20% of their pre-orders were canceled.
1/5 of all pre-orders. That's a good form. I feel like they need to get burned in the rear for this.
Is it really that wrong for them to put the content on the disc?
Yes.
Why?
Because if it's on the disc, that means it was done. Download content is supposed to be extra content that had to be made outside the game's development cycle.
Not necessarily. Well, they plan this way in advance. They plan to do this most of the time. Well, at least in today's games, they plan the DLC when they're making the game. So it's not like it's an afterthought. So I mean, as far as compatibility, they have to put it on the disc for as far as playing online and stuff like that. So I don't really see a problem with it.
Well, here's the thing, though. You're guys supposed to be able to customize the colors on all the characters. Well, the thing is, when you first boot up the game, you've only got 4 colors to choose from. A default first player, second player, a white, and a black. That's it. And they're going to make you pay for all the rest of the colors because I think there's like 10 or 12 colors to choose from, and you have the different sections. So you got about 8 or 10 sections of each character you can change colors to. The character pack for the 12 characters is going to be $20, which, But see, the main problem is what people were worried about was what the pricing was going to be, because you got the exclusivity for those characters on the Vita. Okay, but to have it already included on the disc, everybody was thinking, oh man, here we're going to have like $5 a character. Well, $5 a character. He was going to have like $7 originally, $5 or $7 for a costume pack group. Well, here's how they decided to do it. All 12 characters are going to be $20. Every character's alt is already on the disc, and it's $1 a character to unlock the alternate costume. So if you're one of those people that's got to have everything, you're going to be spending at least $1 for every character for all the alternate costumes. And I think there's going to be 2 alternates, which the first set is like they're cross costumes. So Tekken side characters will get Street Fighter costumes, Street Fighter characters will get Tekken costumes, switching it up. You're going to have gem packs that's going to have special gems that a lot of the players are worried that they're going to be game breaking. You know, so because if somebody pays to have those gems, but you don't want to pay to have those gems, how does that going to work?
So they got these new super moves and stuff.
Can you unlock the gems via the game itself?
No.
You got to buy it.
See, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Also, for the colors, they're going to release a color pack with 3 extra colors for free. But that means you're going to have to buy the rest of the colors from the color pack. So why should you, you know, it's one of those things, it's like saying, say with Soul Calibur, you have, you know, you unlock the costumes normally, but you have to pay extra to get the color bar to change the colors to how you want. It's a little too far on the nickel and dime. I think all total, to buy the game, to spend the money for the characters, to spend all the money for all the color packs, the gem packs, and the costume packs was going to run you almost $120, $130 total. So you're buying the game twice.
I mean, I understand what you're saying.
A lot of people upset.
And then they're going to release another disc, like nullifying your disc pretty much in the first few months.
Well, no, they're not supposed to, because all that's on the disc already. They said.
Oh no, the characters that they haven't put on the disc. You know, they working on some people that's not on the disc, and they're going to release a whole new CD. They might let you download them.
Well, now, Capcom has promised, they will not be a disc update to this game. You will not have to buy another disc. Everything's extra is going to be to where you can download it. But
or unlock
they made that yeah, but see, that's the thing that got a lot of the fans upset is they promised you would not have to buy another disc for the, you know, to download the characters, but then you bought the disc with the characters all on there already.
We're forgetting, people, this is a business. They're trying to make money. But gouging is one thing, but come on, man. They're the whole
yeah, but you know what? You're making me spend $130 for a game that originally should just be, after taxes, depending on where you are, $164 to $168.
But James, at the same time, if they would have said, this is the game we're putting out, no DLC or anything, this is the game you get, it would be an uproar from the community saying,
no, actually, that would have been fine.
Nah, come on, man.
No. Adding DLC that's actually made you have to download that comes out in a few months is fine. But putting DLC on a disc that you have to wait 6 months and then spend another $60 for, that irks a consumer.
You're missing my point, though. If they would have said, if they wouldn't have had any of the DLC that's on a disc or not, any of the DLC, the fans would have been begging for more stuff. So it is fan service, but I do get your point where to a certain extent it does feel like gouging.
I don't think it's fan service. I feel it's a ploy to make you think your title has more value, for them to extend it without doing more work, for them to make more money off of something they've already. Yeah, but they didn't do more work. That's the problem. They did the work.
It's work.
Download content is more work.
Like I said, Carl, they have all this stuff planned in advance. This is
they plan the price gouges before they start making the game. Wow, they're like, this Street Fighter and this Marvel system is working. What else can we? And then you say they do it for compatibility? Nah, they're not doing it for compatibility. Marvel, was it Mortal Kombat worked? It just said you don't have this character or you don't have this outfit. They've made many games that you said, you know, you can't play with a person who has this version. It's actually advertising. If you can play this game and this person is using this spectacular character against you, you don't have them, but you are playing against them. And for you to get them, you have to buy them. That's marketing. Yeah, that's advertised. It's gouging. For a person like me who has a better concept of value than the general consumer, I won't buy this. But like you say, Clarence, I can't fault them for doing it. Yeah, I would sell a refrigerator, an ice maker to a penguin in the South Pole if he buy.
But this is like the analogy I made to James when we were talking offline a few minutes ago. What if it was a movie, the extended director's cut version of a movie that's $10 more than a regular version you can buy? you're gonna buy it for the extra fan service, but it's not necessarily going to be needed. The layman can just watch it and get the value of the movie, but the hardcore fan is going to want to get the extended version just to get the extra. It's the same concept here at play.
What if your regular cut had all that already on it, and it was like
That's what I told him. That's what I told him. That's what I said to him. What if it's already got all that on there and you have to pay extra for it? Wait a minute.
Not just paying extra. You said they did it for compatibility. That means you can play against that character, but you can't pick them. So you know what? Your disc is gonna constantly be flashing at you. Hey, look at all this extra crap you can get. Pay us, motherfucker. We want more money. We want more money for stuff we did a long time ago. We already put it on the disc to tease you with it. Don't you love marketing? Marketing is great.
I can't win. Let's move on to what we're doing.
Pay me. It's on you now, Clarence.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Yeah, the Kara technical demo by the Heavy Rain guys at GDC. Quantum Dream's new game engine. Like I said, the creators of Heavy Rain shows off this rather cinematic Android being built. Now, David Cage said this is not a game, but it's just like a technical demo. But it just kind of shows what they'll be able to do with the next version of their next engine for whatever their upcoming title will be. Have you guys seen this?
No, I haven't seen it. But it looks really cool.
Looking at a screenshot.
I have to admit, actually, I have to admit what would have been nice is 2 years ago it's at a GDC or CG, whatever it is, I can't remember now. Sorry, nerds in the one company brought out a camera with some special makeup that you could, put like a base, like a cover-up base over the whole face, and instead of the dots, it would catch the entire face, so it would automatically catch the lines in your face when you smile or you snarl or anything else. I've been waiting to see that pop up being used in the games.
Yeah, well, the thing with this is, and I guess I didn't really explain it fully. Like you said with the paint thing, this is using 90 sensors, which is on the actress's face, but it's like real time acting. None of this stuff was rendered after the fact, so what you see was like acted out in real time.
Suck it, 360.
So are they finally learning how to use all these cores in the PS3? This thing supposedly has too much theoretical power. For all its games that look worse than 360.
Well, you know what? That's only because they developed for the 360 first because it's easier, and then they port to the PS3. Because if you buy any game that's exclusive to PS3, God of War 3, the Uncharted games, they blow just about anything I've seen on 360 out of the water.
That's why PS3 versions look horrible, because they're emulating. Unless you got a beastly system, emulating always looks worse.
Well, not necessarily emulating, but if you're going to pretty much fine tune it for the platform you build it for first, and then try to work on that same methodology for the different for the other platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, look at Killzone 3. You got to play that, didn't you, Carl?
Yeah, I played it with you, I think, one time. I remember that interactive demo where you could follow the bullet was awesome too.
You need to get the multiplayer. They released the Killzone 3 multiplayer separate by itself.
Oh yeah, I remember this. You told me on the previous cast. I still haven't done it yet. What have I been playing? I put 20 hours into Resident Evil Revelations.
Did you beat it yet?
Oh yeah, I beat it. I beat it in 10 hours, and I've now put 10 hours into the raid mode. Raid mode is the mode you unlock pretty much after beating certain chapters. It's like 20 missions plus a bonus mission. All they are really is pretty much it's stuff you did in story mode. They broke it down into like smaller, little pieces, so you don't have to do the entire thing. But what they added to it, which is pretty neat, is it's almost like an RPG. You have a level. All the zombies now have levels. So they also have like stat boosts. You have a fast zombie, extra defense zombie, or increased damage zombie, and they actually represent this on the screen not only by the icon floating above their head, but a defense zombie is like like freaking 12 feet tall. He's like super tall. The fast zombies are like little midgets hauling ass at you. And the damaging zombies have Popeye arms. So the high
That makes me
damage
think of Dead Space too for some reason.
And like, there's tons of guns in this mode. Like, none of these, like, I'd say only 5 of these guns you probably encounter in story mode. There's all these special custom weapons, legendary weapons that they call them. They have their own levels and stats. You can put stat boosters on them as well. And you're pretty much just going through these missions. Oh, the thing I really like is the zombies' health bars are above their heads now, which makes it easy to find them when they're hiding around corners or in bushes or something like that. Though they always make a noise, so you could hear them to find them. But seeing their life bar helps you manage your ammo better. Like, there's no point in just unloading with the machine gun if you only need one more shot. And the melee attacks are good. Oh, and then each character has stats, because a lot of the characters you encounter in the game, you get to use them in the raid mode. And there's these 2 characters in there that are just hilarious. I'm talking about funny. Like, they're the most human people I've encountered in a video game. And I think Carrie would like them, because I remember he was talking about black guys in video games. It's these 2 dudes called Keith and Quint. Their code names is Jackass and Forkball. Like, Keith is like the everyday, black dude, calm and cool, collective. He's a badass.
Everyday black dude, really?
And Quint is the kind of like a weird dude, but computer geek, but lovable at the same time. And he's great with explosives. And the 2 of them are partners, and they're because every mission you go on is always 2 people. So you use the 2 of them on about 2 or 3 missions, and their communication with each other and stuff is just so funny. It's like, it's like a buddy movie with the 2 of, like the Odd Couple. The 2 of them are getting along so well. So, good game. I'm close to beating it on hell mode, as well as beating the raid on that higher difficulty. Oh, also the raid mode can be played online with someone. I think I waited too long to play raid mode, because everyone online is like already 40 and level 50. I'm just getting to 27, so haven't really found many people to play with yet, because everyone's levels are so high. But
And they're just like, screw you, we don't want to play.
they probably would play, because you actually can turn your level down. Like, you can level yourself down, I guess, to play with other people, which is pretty neat.
Oh, so in other words, you can't just hop in with somebody at a higher level. They actually would have to turn their level down to be able to play with you.
Yeah, because they turn their level down, then create the room, and they tell you what level the guy is before joining their room when they list all the.
Oh, okay.
But solid game. I'm really enjoying it. Beautiful, good story, deep story. They definitely beat you over the head with a story. There's cutscenes every few moments, and even when you play a new chapter, they even do a last time on Resident Evil Revelations and do a recap. It's pretty funny. So it's great, when you play and then you come back from a save file or something, and you like, I wonder what was going on. I can't remember. Last time on Resident Evil Revelations.
So I have a question.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Are all of the cutscenes on the 3DS in 3D? I mean, I would think.
Oh, yeah. The cutscenes are in 3D, so you have a combination of pre-rendered cutscenes, which look great, and then you also have in-game cutscenes, which also look very good, and they're both all full 3D. So they didn't they'll cut corners like they did in Street Fighter. In Street Fighter they didn't reanimate the cutscenes in 3D, but everything the game is full 3D.
Well, what else are you playing there, Carl?
Oh, also, kind of staying on the semi sort of RPG-ish front. A game that comes with everyone's 3DS is the Find Me game. This game is pretty much you put your 3DS in Street Pass mode, and as you encounter other people who hopefully are doing the same thing, their Mii character will be transferred to your 3DS.
And you find no one. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I haven't found many. I think I'm only at like 11. Like, the funny thing is, my wife, because she's trying to do this too, and she's hating that we're not finding many characters. We pretty much probably gonna have to like stalk kids in malls or something. I'm not endorsing that. Do not stalk little children in malls.
You just walk around the mall with your 3DS on. That's all.
Yep, with something special in my pocket. Hopefully to encounter someone else's special pocket. Wow. But back to the game. When you get these people's character, you can use them in this game called Find Me. It's pretty much a turn-based RPG where your character, has a sword, They have a magic ability that is dependent on the color of their outfit that they're wearing, such as red for fire, light blue for ice, dark blue for water, black for darkness, white for light, etc., etc. And the graphics in the game is actually pretty neat. It's extremely simplified. Like, all your character can do is attack, or attack, do their magic, or buy a potion. Once you've done your attack, the enemy attacks back. You're immediately defeated. Like, there is no hit points for you. The enemies have hit points. So when they defeat your character, that's it. So what you do is take your 3DS with you again. Hopefully you can encounter some more people, and hopefully you encounter a lot of people, so you can have all of them in your party at one time to attack. And as you encounter the same person multiple times, their character levels up, which thus gives you higher attack, more attack power to a maximum of 7 levels. So my wife and I both have our Mii's at level 7, and we get our Mii, every day to use. And we've been trying to encounter people. Like, the forum she went to say go to the mall. They even said if you live in a big city with traffic jams, have it with you in your car, put it on your dashboard. You might pick up some people passing by in the car. Like, it's stats and everything. The one that worked for me is I picked up a few people in airports. That's like the only place I've looked up. We did get somebody, we got someone downtown where you walk around to the food courts. Yeah, Yahtzee said it best. I remember he did one of his little plugs. He was talking about he's like sitting in bushes outside elementary schools. He said Nintendo is motivating grown men to stalk little children.
That's our title right there.
Stalk me.
Stalk Mii. Yep, still M-I.
Wow.
But it's so addictive. Believe me, like, you'd be like, damn it, they killed thing. And then, like, your Mii will miss sometimes, too, which will make you hot. You're like, damn, I need more Mii's. So, you start going places with your 3DS, you wouldn't take it with you. You're like, damn, I don't really want some McNuggets, but it might be some kids in here. I keep saying kids, but I'm pretty sure
grown men.
Every Mii I got looks like an adult.
Yeah, probably.
I think I've only gotten one kid. Every other Mii is, unless these some tall kids, because you can't choose your Mii's height, which from many varying levels. But everyone looks like adults to me.
Someone should definitely make that trailer. That would be awesome. Just show Carl swinging in the swing on the playground and nobody's out there. Just have the little creaking of the chain in the background.
He's sitting all sad with his 3DS in his hand.
Yeah, then you see that green light start blinking in my pocket, and I get all happy, like, hey, I found somebody.
Wow.
Somebody has a 3DS like me. But I bet you in Japan they probably encounter 100 people a day.
Yeah, the population density, man, alone.
Yeah, they got so many thousand people per square mile.
Well, speaking of finding somebody, I've been playing. Well, I sat down and rented the day it came out, Street Fighter X Tekken, and played for a week. Because the place I have to rent from, actually, you rent out a game for a full week. Let me tell you this: the gameplay is solid. Okay, it uses the same basic strategy of Super Street Fighter 4, whereas each character has trial modes you can go through, so you can learn specific combos with them. But then you have that tag feature to come in, like the Versus series, or like on Tekken Tag, when you'd have the tag launchers, you have that again. So that helps out. But where it comes in, I was waiting for somebody to say something because you looked like you was ready to.
And I was scrolling down. I have this slow single-core machine. I have to scroll very slowly so I don't lose too many resources.
Gotcha. But now, the thing is they touted that this would have like the best netcode of any game they've put out so far. Yeah, hit or miss.
So supposedly they rebuilt this netcode from the ground up for this new title, and yeah, I've heard it's having some problems.
Yeah, I'll put it to you this way. I hopped in a room with a couple of my buddies from Mississippi as a plug for these guys. Mississippi Fighting Game Union. These guys set this up after I left, the bastards.
Yeah, after I left too, the bastards.
But I was sitting there playing with two of my buddies, and we had full bar connections, and it kicked me out. Like, I got disconnected.
It sounds like cell phones.
Yeah,
full
well,
bars and drop your call.
well, that's the thing though. I tried to hop in back in like 4 different times, and I still get getting kicked out. I would hop into other endless rooms and get kicked out. Other people would get kicked out. Sometimes, but I mean, it's just like on any game you're playing online. You might hop in a room with somebody with full bars, and you're still going to get lag. Or you might hop in a room with somebody that says no bars, no lag. So it's still the hit and miss on that.
Yeah, and the funny thing about those bars, all it's calculating is your ping. Like that's like at that moment when you connected, it's like, oh, hey, you have a pretty decent ping. Data, communication goes back and forth pretty fast. It doesn't matter that once you start playing the game, the guy is lag switching or children are in the other room watching Netflix and
yeah. Now, other things they've added to this game that you may not be used to is the gem system. Now, if you're an old school gamer and you remember playing Marvel superheroes, I know you do, Carl. They had the Infinity Gems. Now, what's different about this is you can customize how many gems. Like you have 3 gems you can set up, and you do this per character. So you can go through each character you play and have each one set up differently with their gems. You have boost and assist type gems. That's it. The boost gems will boost stats, say
more damage.
Yeah, more damage. You might move slower, build up meter faster, etc. But now the more of one stat it builds up, the less of another it'll take down. So if you have one that says increase your attack damage by 30%, it'll decrease your movement, like your overall speed, by 10 to 20%. So you get it. So now it sets it.
Your character Zangief strength, you're gonna have Zangief speed too.
Pretty much, yeah.
Zangief.
I ran into a lot of people that just disconnect on me. But then again, I was running the team of King and Poison, so I just don't think they like that new half whipping that ass.
Oh, so Poison style is grapple? She's a grapple style?
No. She's much more of a Shoto style character.
Another Shoto? Wow.
well, just in how her stuff's executed, because she's got a fireball, she's got a kick that goes up. Like, if you really break it down to it, over half the characters in Street Fighter are Shoto characters.
Yeah, that's true. Fireball, anti-air, and pressure, I guess.
Yeah. But the way she just moves is a little different than everything else, and I don't know, I guess they just didn't like that. I do like how they have the ranking system set up, because on Super Street Fighter 4, when that came out, you have it to where, like, if you haven't played that, it has it to where you have your ranking with your character that you're playing with, like, however it is. So you might be, like, when the game first come out, you might be doing pretty good and staying up in, like, in the high hundreds, and then, yeah, you might pick it up for a week, and then you have a little bad spot, and then suddenly you're, like, number 2,567. Yeah, every character's got to move to where they can sidestep or slip under fireballs, like King's Jaguar step, where he did that little spin step right through a fireball. It'll actually go right through one hit. He's still got his grapple moves, but his link throws are super, which he actually has to where you can do different things. So you can end it with, like, the Scorpion Deathlock, or you can do the Muscle Buster. Nina has hers, which... Actually, hers is the only one that's an actual command to where you can do it. It's not a super move. It's just a regular special move. Now, one of the things that has popped up is they've had vids of several characters pop up that's had infinite combos.
Like they did in, what game was that?
Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom?
Yeah, and Tatsunoko. They say there's, like, so many infinite combos you can do in there. Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. I mean, I still need to buy that game.
Now, I saw in your review you said that can't be done in a real match. Is that?
No. Most of them can't be done in a real match because you got to have a full EX. You got to have a full super bar. Because just like all games now, it has a super bar. It's only got 3 levels. You use each section to do an EX move, or 2 sections of the bar to do your character-specific super move, or you use all 3 and you do the team super. But there are some characters that have moves to where it takes advantage of the frame and the bounce and the juggle system to where you can just infinite the hell out of that thing. Which, now, it does damage scale to the point to where you won't be doing any more damage, but you keep that up, you'll run the timer out. Like I actually, the way how fast the timer runs, if you don't do a whole lot of stuff in the first 30 seconds, time's going to run out and you'll lose. I can't tell you how many times I played online, and the timer ended before anybody died.
So is it not a 99-second timer now? It's only you only get 1 minute.
It's like 60. Yeah, it's a 60-second.
That's interesting that they did that. They try to keep it aggressive or make it where someone has to rush somebody.
Maybe, but I mean, you can just make it to where you can rush in right quick, and then you can turtle. Because you can still turtle pretty hard in this game. Like most characters have an overhead attack, sure, but you gotta be ready to read it, and it's coming in. But overall, it's a solid game. I didn't buy it just because, well, it was that or Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. I'm a bigger Resident Evil fan than I am a Street Fighter fan. So I'll pick that up in a few days.
Yeah, and so far they haven't done a hard raping on a DLC for Resident Evil.
Not yet. Yeah. But, well, see, the thing is, though, since I've moved away, I don't have anyone here I can play fighting games with. It's all online. That's all I have. And I'm finding as I'm getting older, I guess, I'm not having as much fun playing online as I am in a group of people.
Yeah.
And Street Fighter X Tekken is one of those games that you want to be able to be in a room with like 5 or 6 of your other buddies or
Talking
more.
Trash.
Exactly.
Talking trash, not talking shit, but like talking smack, like me and Carl used to do. Like the people would be there laughing their butts off, instead of you getting hate mail or somebody calling you a fag or all this other stuff. Because it's online, you're not going to go find them, so they'll call it's.
No, that one guy did track somebody down.
Yeah,
but he already knew the kid, though. I think they said so.
Yeah, he knew him. He walked across the street, beat the shit. I'll teach you to talk that shit. But
wow, respect your elders.
But barring the DLC debacle that we already talked about, the gameplay is solid. It's solid. It's smooth. It works. They will be patching the online, of course, because unfortunately they just. I don't know. I don't see how it is that they're not testing the netcode on these games enough. I mean, you would think they would have somebody in New York or somebody in LA playing this.
Oh, they do, but those people are on like ridiculous ass corporate networks. They need to have someone go to the boonies or something and play through DSL with them to test it.
Yeah, they do.
It's testing that stuff from corporate office to corporate office where they got gigabit network up in there.
They got a direct feed line all the way across the country.
Yeah, he's using that transatlantic cable.
Yeah. But if you've ever wanted to play your Street Fighter versus your Tekken characters, this is a great first foray into it. It works really good. The story, like any crossover game, the story don't mean crap. I mean, it's just something there.
Fighting games.
Yeah. But it works really good. I have to admit, I'm getting kind of burnt out on Street Fighter. So I'm looking forward to see what Namco does with Tekken versus Street Fighter.
I want Killer Instinct. Damn it! What are they waiting on?
Dude is not.
Well, you know what, Carl? I got that program where you can play it online. We could hit that up. I've been talking about that.
To be funny, I bet you we probably end up with Killer Instinct avatars before we actually get the game. Because I think that's all Rare is doing now for Microsoft. It's like all the avatar stuff.
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't get to play it because I don't have a 360, and I'm not buying a console for one specific game anymore.
Rare might cut them. They might cut them loose. Who knows?
But yeah, it's a solid game. If you've really enjoyed those series, if you're not burning out on Street Fighter, you want to keep on, and you're ready to hop into the next game that's going to be part of that big tournament scene, and everybody trying to be all wah. Go for it. Street Fighter X Tekken is solid. You got a lot of characters to choose from. If you got it on the PS3, you got 5 more characters out the gate than you do on the 360. Because the PS3 has Cole, Koro, and Tor. They're little cat. I mean, they're small. Remember Gone on Tekken 3?
Are they like as small as what's his name? Cerbot? Remember Cerbot? The Cerbot?
Yeah, not quite that small. One's but how they're done, one's emulated after Ryu, and one emulates Kazuya, so it works that way. And your Mega Man's bad box art Mega Man. It's like Capcom hates Mega Man fans.
You know what he reminded me of? He made me think of the Tron guy. The heavyset computer nerd dude that made his own.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What did he yelled out like for great justice or something like that?
Yeah, I don't remember. But yeah, it's a solid game. So if you're not burning on a Street Fighter, go for it.
Yeah. I think what we need now though is it's about time for DC versus Marvel. That's
Yeah, that would be a dream, wouldn't it?
yeah, they haven't done that comic book in a long time. But
Oh yeah, the Amalgam. You know what? I still got that in my collection. I didn't sell that one.
oh, but I guess we'll move on to the deals of the week. For those of you who have Android, and this actually includes everyone, but now Android is included. There's the Humble Bundle. For those who don't know what that is, that's this bundle of indie games that you name your own price.
Usually focused on Apple, correct?
Huh? Well, usually it's focused on PC, but
Wasn't
it's been on Apple, but initially it was on PC.
Oh, really? Wow, I didn't know that.
I think it was initially on PC, but it also was on Apple, and it's on Linux also, and it's now it's on Android. Which the funny thing with Android is, which I guess like you said, is focused on Apple. But the funny thing with Android already supported Flash, and most of these were Flash games that you can already play for free. So it's probably not as stable because you are running Flash in a mobile browser. But this is a good cause. It goes to Child's Play, the Penny Arcade people. Child's Play seems to be like the #1 online internet charity, and I guess they do good things. I haven't researched them that much, but there's about 5 games in this. I know Cannibal is one of them. I forget what the other titles are. A neat thing too, if you go to the site, it actually gives you a breakdown of what how much the average that people are paying, and lets you see which platform is actually paying the most. Looks like Linux has the highest average, but I guess you can understand Linux because that's where the developers are, and I guess developers helping developers. But I'm glad to see this on Android. I'm tempted to get it, but my conscience is like the cheapskate in me would go ahead and give them a penny, but then the conscience in me is like, maybe I can give them this much, but some of them are free, and I may not play all of them, and I probably even have time to play. But hey, like I say, any little bit helps, and they've proven that if given a decent value product for a worthy cause, people will open their wallets, and they're seeing it did good in the past. It's doing good now, and if you can spare it, or if you just want some games for cheap, help them out. Throw them a penny.
That's a really good idea, actually.
Oh, and then this is also cross-platform. So if you buy it, you should still choose the platform you want it on. You can still play it on Windows, Apple, Mac. So if you got all those devices, you can use it on everything. So that's
well, that's awesome.
Yeah, so if I bought it for Android, I can still play it on PC when I feel like it. If I had an iPod like Clarence or something like that, I could play it. Right now, no Windows Phone support, but they'll probably get it in the future. Or no one cares. No BlackBerry support too, so I won't single them out like that.
Cool.
You got something else for us, don't you, there, Carl?
Yeah, and I got a tech tip of the week. I'm gonna leave the other one out right now because I had another deal, which was some solid state good sales, flash memory, solid state drives, compact flash for those who still use it. I think all those are sold out now and have expired, so I'm not gonna not gonna worry about telling you, hey, go here, and then you go there and it's like $50 more or $10 more. But the price has come down a lot on SSD. You can find you a deal on your own with no problem. So if you're in the market for one, 32 gigs have finally went down below like $1 a gig. You can get 64 for like 50 something. And solid state drives, they're still staying above $1 a gig, but the 128s have gotten very close to actually being $128. I think they're on average like $149, $159. But what I wanted to talk to you about is the tech tip of the week. For everyone who's getting, everyone getting smartphones now, and the tip of the iceberg for smartphones now are LTE 4G cell phones. But one thing a lot of people have noticed, which everyone noticed back when we still was doing 3G, smartphones, data-intensive phones, have exceptionally poor battery life.
So twice the thickness, half the battery power.
Pretty much. 4G is a beast. 4G will kill your phone. It kills my wife's phone all the time. It kills it used to kill my phone, but I've gotten more conscious of my use of it now. It gets very hot. Even people have noticed now that the new iPad 3 is actually operating at 10 degrees higher because of its 4G radio. Apple says it's still operating within, their specifications. You're probably just holding it wrong.
Right. You're just holding it wrong.
But yeah, quick power tips. There's no really, unless you want to go deep into the settings. I think my wife found a place where you can actually set actual times to sync up. Believe me, if you're checking your email on your phone, you can tell your phone to sync. There's no 4G is fast enough to where you don't need your email to already be there. You don't need your phone to beep and tell you I got new messages. So what I do is I turn my 4G radio off. I leave my phone on just regular phone mode. And believe me, your phone will go, if you're not getting phone calls all the time, you will get 4 or 5 days, of standby time. So, you get to keep your phone. This is something you definitely want to do when you're on the highway or on trips. Turn the data off. Just turn it off.
Can you tell it to specifically use 3G, or is it LTE only? Or
actually, you can lock it to 3G as well. I actually had to do that for a while because Verizon was having trouble with their 4G towers. Mm-hmm. It was people who had 4G phones could not get any data. The issue was the 4G was still there. The phone was detecting the 4G, but Verizon authentication had went down because supposedly it authenticates all the 4G connections. So your phone would never switch to 3G or Edge because it was detecting a 4G signal. So that's what, no one had data, and that was one of the temporary fixes that went around the internet. Another plus is those of you who are getting high-end phones. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are getting OLED phones. This might even apply to LED phones. But something a lot of people have heard, OLED is very good power conscious. It doesn't use as much power as an LED. However, it actually can use more power than the LED when displaying whites. So if you want to make your phone last longer, not only turn your brightness down, but use dark backgrounds. If you can, even invert your text. If you have an application, do black paper with white font. It's amazing that OLED uses I think up to 4 times more juice to display white. So dark colors, dark background, and low brightness. Which unless you're standing out in broad daylight, you don't need maximum brightness on your phone. So I don't even use auto brightness on my devices. I just set them to the lowest brightness. So those are a few good good power management tips for you. And if you have a Samsung phone, there's actually some videos out there and some applications you can download. But most phones, I know I had a Samsung and a Motorola, they have those radio disabling shortcuts, built-in widgets. But there's also free widgets all over the place. So you have an Android device, you can download it. Disable your GPS, disable your Bluetooth, disable your 4G radio. Just leave the basic cellular band on, so you can still get your calls and your text messages.
Yeah, it would be cool if you can only use 4G when you're actively browsing your phone, and if it just drop the 3G when you're doing anything else, like what's in the background, because it would, you don't really need the faster speeds unless you're actually doing something actively,
Yeah, that's actually true. Android or Google should release a update to do that. I would say for 4G devices, like you say, 4G, like you say, should be for active browsing. I'm watching YouTube. I actually just pressed enter to go to a page. But all background processes, like you say, should use slower, less power intensive, data connections.
Yeah, if you have the lock screen up, it can detect that and drop you down or something. I don't know. Seems like it's something that can be done.
Yep.
Cool. That's always good to know, because I have to admit, I find it pretty bad that as good as our phones are getting now, the battery life is just horrible. You would think it would pick up along with the phones, but it's just not.
Yeah, that's the one thing they haven't been changing. Actually, if you look at your phone and previous phones over the past years, they've been staying at 1100, 1300 milliamp milliamp hours. Though we're constantly adding more powerful processors, bigger and brighter screens, higher pixel density screens, better speakers, more radios, but we're still using the same battery.
It's like
it's hurting.
It is not the fact that the battery technology is just keeping up with the change in technology during. It's just that the batteries are getting bigger and the technology in the phone is getting smaller. So therefore, they can just put a bigger battery in there and try kind of equalize with last generation's model as far as battery life.
Yeah, they don't want to give you a bigger battery. That's an accessory you can buy. Just download content already on the disc.
Well, Apple anyway. Apple gives bigger batteries.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like,
well, you can't change your Apple battery, so they have to give you a better one.
Yeah, true.
But then they have external batteries. They have a case that's a battery.
Packs, the Mophie juice packs.
Yeah, the Mophie juice packs, juice bar.
All right. Well, I think that's the cast tonight.
Yeah, this brings us to an end. Do we have any final comments, plugs?
Check out the site, techpetition.com. Check out our YouTube page, Tech Petition. Like us on Facebook, on Twitter. What's the Twitter? Because I don't do Twitter. I'm sorry.
At Tech Petition.
Twitter.
Follow us. Circle us on the Google Plus. Find us on Facebook. Also, check out James's latest article, Street Fighter X Tekken. Pretty interesting stuff if you're a fighting games fan.
Yeah, listen to our sister podcast, the
Reality Breach
and Paul's Break.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Send us questions. Let us know what you want to see on the site. Help us to make it better for you.
Yep. Send us your pictures. We'll show the world what you look like.
Wow.
We won't keep them. We'll just
right. Yeah. Okay, girl.
Nah, we don't need your pictures. Just say something. We'll use your text. Everything you say or send to us can and will be used against you.
Oh man.
Just want to read them their Miranda rights.
And making the site and the cast more enjoyable for everyone.
Yeah. Very, very quick. All right, folks. Well, I guess until next time. I'm Clarence.
Very, very quick.
It's the James.
Carl and James. Kane.
Right.
Jarl. How would it be? King
I don't know.
Joffrey. James Earl Jones.
Go south.
It's minor knots. That's what it is. Knots minor. Knots minor.
Knots in C minor.
Go south. Very, very quick. Go south.
I can't beat that. I just smells burnt and dusty.